In the quiet, whispering winds of the hidden leaf village, known as Konohagakure, stories are passed from one generation to the next. Some are legends of great power, some of peace, and others of sorrow. Among the most deeply remembered is the tale of Sasuke Uchiha. His name carries weight. His eyes reflect the burden of his past, and his path weaves through both darkness and light. Sasuke Uchiha was born into one of the most prestigious and feared clans in all out of the ninja world, the Uchiha Clan. Known for their innate skill in combat and their powerful dojutsu, the Sharingan, the Uchiha were respected and feared in equal measure. The village regarded them as both powerful allies and potential threats. Sasuke was the younger son of Fugaku Uchiha, the head of the clan, and Mikoto Uchiha, a gentle and loving mother who once served as a jonin. His early childhood was peaceful, filled with quiet ambition. Sasuke idolized his older brother, Itachi, who was considered a prodigy. Itachi graduated from the Ninja Academy at the top of his class at age 7, awakened the Sharingan at 8, became a Chunin at 10, and joined the elite Anbu Black Ops by 11. Sasuke's eyes would light up at the sight of his brother, and his dreams were filled with hopes of one day standing beside him as an equal. He trained hard, striving to gain even a fraction of the praise and affection Itachi received from their father. But all was not as it seemed within the Uchiha clan. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, hidden behind polite smiles and silent eyes. The clan had long felt marginalized by the village's leadership, particularly after the Nine Tails attack on Konoha, a catastrophe many believed the Uchiha were somehow responsible for, though no evidence was ever brought to light. The village elders grew wary of the clan's strength, and in response, the Uchiha were quietly segregated to the outskirts of the village. Fugaku, caught between loyalty to the village and his duties to his clan, began to foster plans of rebellion. Itachi, his trusted son, joined the Anbu at the Hokage's request and began working undercover, his loyalties torn between blood and peace. As the night grew heavy with hidden intentions, the foundation of Sasuke's world was about to crack. One fateful night, Sasuke returned home to a sight that would forever scar his heart. His clan, every man, woman, and child, had been slaughtered. The streets were silent. The smell of iron hung in the air. And at the heart of it all stood Itachi, his sword drawn, eyes crimson with the Mangekyo Sharingan, and face expressionless. He told Sasuke that he had killed the entire clan to test the limits of his strength. He urged Sasuke to hate him, to live for vengeance, and to grow strong enough to one day defeat him. In a matter of moments, Sasuke's world crumbled. Everything he had loved was gone. His only purpose, now etched deep into his soul, was revenge. He swore he would kill his brother, no matter the cost. As Sasuke entered the ninja academy, he was cold, distant, and focused. While many of his classmates admired him for his talent and cool demeanor, he kept them at arm's length. The pain of loss and betrayal had built a wall around his heart. It was here that he met Naruto Uzumaki, a loud, unpredictable boy with no family and a burning desire for acknowledgement. Their rivalry was instant, yet there was a strange, invisible bond between them, as if fate had tied their paths together. Over time, Sasuke was placed in Team 7, alongside Naruto and Sakura Haruno, under the guidance of their sensei, Kakashi Hatake. Their missions began simple, rescuing cats, running errands, but soon escalated to life-threatening encounters. Their first real challenge came during the mission to the Land of Waves, where they battled the dangerous rogue ninja Zabuza Momochi and his companion Haku. During this mission, Sasuke experienced fear, desperation, and the feeling of fighting to protect others, emotions he had long buried under his thirst for vengeance. When the Chunin exams arrived, Sasuke was more determined than ever. During the Forest of Death segment, his team was attacked by Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin, and a traitor to the village. Orochimaru branded Sasuke with a cursed seal, awakening a dark power within him. This power tempted Sasuke, offering him the strength he so desperately craved, but at a cost. As the seal's influence grew, so too did the shadows within Sasuke's heart. His battles during the Chunin exams pushed him further. His fight with Gaara of the Sand, a fellow Jinchuriki, tested his limits. But it was after the invasion of Konoha and Itachi's sudden reappearance that Sasuke's resolve to gain power grew desperate. Itachi, now a member of the criminal organization Akatsuki, humiliated Sasuke once again, proving how far apart they still were in strength. Feeling powerless, Sasuke made a fateful decision. He chose to leave Konoha and seek out Orochimaru. He abandoned his friends, his village, and the bonds he had slowly begun to form. Naruto, unwilling to let Sasuke fall into darkness, chased after him. Their battle at the Valley of the End was fierce. Fire against wind, lightning against shadow. In the end, Sasuke stood victorious, but spared Naruto's life. He walked away, choosing the path of solitude. At Orochimaru's side, Sasuke trained relentlessly. He pushed his body and mind beyond their limits, determined to sever all ties and kill Itachi. Eventually, he turned on Orochimaru, deeming him no longer useful. He defeated him and formed his own team, Hebi, later known as Taka, comprising Suigetsu, Karin, and Jugo. Together, they hunted Itachi. The battle between brothers was long awaited. When it finally came, it was a clash not just of jutsu, but of history, trauma, and fate. Sasuke unleashed every technique he had learned, driven by the burning desire for retribution. Itachi, calm and composed, matched him move for move. In the end, Itachi collapsed, not by Sasuke's hand, but by illness. With his last breath, he smiled, tapping Sasuke's forehead, just as he had when they were children. It was only after Itachi's death that the truth unraveled. From Tobi, a masked man claiming to be Madara Uchiha, Sasuke learned the real reason behind the massacre. Itachi had not slaughtered the clan out of cruelty, but out of love. He had been ordered to do so by the village elders to prevent a civil war. He had spared only Sasuke, carrying the burden of his sins alone so that his younger brother might live a peaceful life. Everything Sasuke believed shattered once again. Fueled now by hatred, not for Itachi, but for the village that had manipulated and betrayed his brother, Sasuke set a new course. He attacked Kage summit meetings, declared vengeance upon Konoha, and grew more detached from his former self. He even confronted the resurrected Hokage, seeking answers about the village's foundation. Slowly, through these encounters and battles, his perspective began to shift once more. It was during the Fourth Great Ninja War that Sasuke returned to the battlefield. With Naruto, he fought against Madara Uchiha, Kaguya Otsutsuki, and the resurrected Ten Tails. They faced godlike enemies, suffering and sacrificing, side by side once again. It was during this war that Sasuke awakened the Rinnegan in his left eye after receiving chakra from Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the sage of 6 paths. When the war ended, Sasuke declared his intention to become a new kind of Hokage, a ruler who would unite the world through fear and strength, destroying the current system. Naruto stood against him, believing in bonds, peace, and understanding. Their final battle at the Valley of the End mirrored their first, but this time, both gave everything. In the end, they lay broken, missing arms and filled with clarity. Sasuke, moved by Naruto's unwavering resolve and willingness to call him a friend, at last began to see a different path. The sun had begun to rise above the Valley of the End, its gentle light washing over the 2 battered boys lying on the riverside. Both Sasuke and Naruto were motionless, their bodies bloodied and bruised, arms severed in the violent clash of ideologies. Yet, in that stillness, there was understanding, not born of victory or defeat, but from acknowledgement, an unspoken bond that had always been there, even when they had chosen different paths. Sasuke Uchiha, once driven solely by hatred and vengeance, now found himself facing something unfamiliar: clarity. In Naruto, he saw more than just a rival. He saw a reflection of the boy he once was, before the burden of loss consumed him. Naruto never gave up on him, never stopped believing that Sasuke could return, that he could still find peace and redemption. And in that moment, Sasuke began to believe it too. Following the end of the Fourth Great Ninja War, Sasuke was pardoned for his crimes, largely due to Naruto and Kakashi, who had become the 6th Hokage. Despite this, Sasuke chose not to stay in the village. With a quiet farewell, he set off on a journey of redemption, a solitary path meant to atone for the pain he had caused and to understand the true meaning of shinobi and peace. He left behind the comforts of home, venturing through distant lands, observing the world from the shadows, and seeking answers that could not be found within the borders of the hidden leaf. His travels were long and often lonesome. He encountered remnants of old conflicts, people affected by the wars, and those still harboring hate in their hearts. He fought when he needed to, protected where he could, and listened to the stories of those who had suffered. Slowly, the weight in his chest began to lighten, not because his past was forgotten, but because he was learning to live with it. During his travels, Sasuke also began to feel the presence of new, looming threats. The shinobi world had achieved peace, but peace was fragile. He came across remnants of the Uchiha Clan, celestial beings far beyond the power of any shinobi. He realized that true peace would not come simply through treaties or shared experiences, but through vigilance and understanding of threats far greater than humans had ever faced. Back in the Hidden Leaf Village, life moved forward. Naruto became Hokage, fulfilling his lifelong dream, and the village began a new era. Sakura became a leading medical ninja and played a pivotal role in rebuilding the hospital systems. The children of the next generation began their own journeys, and among them was a boy with onyx eyes and an intense gaze, Sarada Uchiha, Sasuke's daughter. Sasuke's return to the village was rare, often brief, but his presence left a quiet mark. He trained his daughter from afar, watching her growth with pride. She was strong, intelligent, and filled with the same fire that once drove him. But unlike the boy he had been, Sarada had both parents by her side, even if one was a distant figure in the shadows. In one of his returns, Sasuke met Boruto Uzumaki, Naruto's son. At first, Boruto was brash and resentful of his father's duties, but Sasuke saw potential in the boy, an unpolished edge that reminded him of Naruto. He agreed to take Boruto as a student, guiding him with the same silent discipline he had once received. Boruto grew under his tutelage, learning both technique and restraint, power and purpose. Sasuke became something of a myth to the newer generation. To some, he was the ghost of the Uchiha, a protector who lived in the shadows. To others, he was a legend, the last of a great clan who had faced unimaginable loss and walked through the darkness to find the light. But to those closest to him, Sasuke was simply a man, a father, a husband, a friend. Over time, the world began to change again. New enemies emerged. Kara, an organization with mysterious technology and dangerous ideologies. Their leader, Jigen, and the presence of another Otsutsuki threat, Ishiki, brought terror back into the world. Once again, Sasuke stood beside Naruto, not as a rival or enemy, but as an equal and ally. Their bond, forged through fire and blood, remained unshaken. In the battle against Ishiki Otsutsuki, Sasuke fought with all he had. His Rinnegan, one of the most powerful dojutsu, allowed him to teleport and manipulate space. But even this was not enough against the overwhelming might of the Otsutsuki. The cost of this battle was immense. Sasuke lost his Rinnegan, a devastating blow that limited his abilities. But he did not waver. Power, he had learned, was not everything. What mattered was resolve, and his remained as strong as ever. He watched Boruto and Kawaki grow, both marked by karma seals and destinies that would pull them into the center of future wars. Sasuke offered guidance, lending his experience and wisdom. He knew that the path of a shinobi was never easy, and the choices ahead of them would be heavier than they could imagine. Through all of this, Sasuke remained calm, composed, and introspective. The world no longer feared him as a rogue or traitor. Instead, it looked to him as a quiet guardian, a man who had once stood at the edge of darkness and chosen to step back into the light. His journey had not been clean or easy. He had made mistakes, caused pain, and walked paths no one should ever have to walk. But he survived, and in doing so, he changed. He did not seek recognition. He did not ask for forgiveness. He simply lived, choosing to protect the peace he once tried to destroy. In the quiet moments, watching Sarada train, standing beneath the stars, or walking the forests beyond the village, Sasuke found something he never thought he'd have again. Peace. Not in the grand, world-changing sense, but in the stillness within himself. The ghosts of his past remained, as they always would, but they no longer controlled him. They were reminders of how far he had come. And so, the story of Sasuke Uchiha continues, not in battles or vengeance, but in the choices he makes every day. He is a reminder that redemption is possible, that even the darkest paths can lead back to the light, and that the bonds we form can anchor us through the storm. As you rest now, let the sound of his journey settle like falling leaves in your mind. The tale of Sasuke is not merely one of sorrow and power, but of growth, of learning, and of quiet hope. Let your eyes close gently. Let the soft echoes of the hidden leaf village cradle your thoughts. And remember, even those who walk in shadow can find their way home.